Court is now in session.
Woo!
Come on, we're back.
Another episode, boys.
Another week. Loving it.
How are people feeling?
I'm feeling good, but I'm also enjoying the fact that we don't laugh at the knocking anymore. We've finally gotten used to it, and we're happy to just jump into the section.
It was really hard. Was it the knocking we laugh at, or just how serious it is that I say it, like in the way that I say court's now in session?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, both probably. It's this. It's the combined experience.
Yeah,
I actually think the knocking is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it really leads to what I want us to start our conversation on today.
Nice.
A lot of the feedback I've had recently is that particularly myself and Ben tend to talk too much on one subject, and we're not great at keeping it short. I'm sorry, Ben, I haven't warned you about this, but this is some of the feedback I've got. And I'm happy to own that because I do like to ramble on a little bit. And something we've been trying to discuss as a court is, like, off the podcast, is how can we try and keep our segments a little bit shorter? And around the campfire the other night, we had an amazing idea. I was with one of our special Joeys, Justin Murray, and he was reiterating to me how much I ramble, like he always does. And around the campfire, we've actually come up with a fantastic way that we can keep segments short. And what I reckon we should do, and test try just for this episode, is, you know how Will does the gavel at the beginning of every segment?
Mm-hmm.
Every time one of us is done with the conversation, we knock the gavel and we're out of that conversation. And each person has to knock for the conversation to close, to come to an end. So if you're done with this conversation now, you can knock on your gavel, and once you've knocked, you can't talk anymore.
So should I just knock at the start of every segment?
Definitely.
Possibly, but what do you guys think about that? Maybe we can get gavels when we're a bit more high budget.
Go, Brad.
I like this idea, but I think it would work best if we all had an actual gavel that we could knock when we're out. So we might need to do props in between now and next time.
I was also thinking, James, my only concern is that if we ramble on and we're the ones who have to knock ourselves out, it could end up that Brad and Will have opted out and we just keep going.
That sounds like a great podcast to me.
So maybe what would be more helpful is if we can knock and go, all right, James, shut up. You're out of the conversation. Like, I actually like a twist.
So you can knock one person out of the conversation.
Yeah. That way, yeah, it'll keep you and me from rambling on too long if all of a sudden Will's just like, all right, Ben, shut up. You're done. Input over.
But Will's not going to interrupt us.
So it's all on you, Brad.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you boys think?
I reckon we should try it. I reckon it's not a bad idea.
I think it's more risky knocking someone else out because they might actually have something to contribute.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd get a little bit egotistical with that sort of power.
Like we did last week when we chucked Will into the waiting room.
Yes.
Sorry, Will.
Yeah, that's fair.
What I'm imagining is, you know, those old school kids' toys that have got like the hammers, but when you hit them, they kind of do that whistle thing.
Perfect.
We should find 4 of those things. I reckon that'd be great.
You can have one of them. I want one of the big hammers that come in the show bags. Like the big blow hammers.
Okay. So is this the project between now and next week is to find your hammer implement, whatever size. Gavel. Yeah. Between now and next week.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. But for this week, let's just knock.
Okay, deal.
Done.
Like that.
All right.
Does that mean we're moving on?
Next order of business.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I love it. I'm stoked. Will, it's your turn to talk about your segment.
Cool. Let's see how long it takes for the gavels to start showing up. But actually, this was something that came up as part of a lunchtime discussion with Ben. We were talking about how there's no longer, I was suggesting there is no longer a need for the modern or the old school way of doing exams to exist in current universities and schools, where they require you to study and retain information in the top of your head, because that is not really a situation that is relevant to modern society anymore because of the invention of smartphones. You always have Google in your pocket. So why do we need to have exams that require you to retain information off the top of your head. Like, I suggest every exam should be open book moving forward, if exams are even relevant, where everything should just be assignments. And so I want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
So is that kind of because you feel like now the real skill in life is not to remember things, but to know how to Google things?
No, I think it's more just that that's what's relevant for today's society. And that's what exams should reflect. It should reflect how society works, not the archaic way of doing things.
Is anyone here a fan of doing exams?
Personally, I prefer exams. I'm better at exams than I am assignments.
I'm way better at assignments than I am at exams. So I'm with Will on this. I reckon you could get rid of exams.
I agree.
Cool.
Classic. Ben and James versus Will and Brad, as usual.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I personally, exams for me are the dream. I can just read a book, try and remember as much as I can, do an hour and a half, few multi-choice, few short answer questions, and I'm done. The dream. None of this referencing and all of that tedious stuff that happens in assignments. So boring and so slow. I hate it. I'm done. Give me an exam any day of the week.
Yeah, but if you're going to do an exam, wouldn't you rather have access to books or your phone to be able to Google?
I mean,
during
sure.
the exam? I'm
not going to say no to some cheating.
It's not cheating. It's how society works today. You get asked a question, you go, hey, let me Google it.
James.
I really regretted gaveling at the beginning. Do you mind if I join the conversation?
Yeah, go.
What's the purpose of an exam if you're going to look it up, Will? What's the exam testing?
It's a waste of time.
Well, what's the purpose of why are you still having an exam then?
That's what I'm arguing, that you don't have to. We should just get rid of exams and have assignments. But there are people who prefer having exams. So if you are going to put someone in an exam situation, why not make it reflect modern society and make them open book or access to your technological devices so that you can actually
it sounds like you're compromising
how the real world works.
I think what he's trying to do is like no exams, but if you have to have them, at least let them be open book. Is that what you're trying to say, Will?
Which defeats the purpose of an exam.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of an exam though? Is it just recall?
To flex how good your recall is.
Yeah.
Or how well it's ingrained.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It's also like, it's all about who can just put together pieces of information really quickly and succinctly, unlike people who are just able to like wordsmith it for days and days on end with their assignments.
Come on.
But I think I just don't like either assessment. I have pretty good short-term memory, so I would usually just do like a cram like 2 hours before an exam. But I'm also all right at just like writing rubbish on a report that makes sense. So I think both are necessary. They both test different parts of your brain.
Mm.
And I think in order to have a fully all-encompassing understanding of what you're talking about and what you're doing, you probably need to be testing both parts.
Yeah. I think there should be more practical exams though, because I think like theory versus practical is a huge thing. So I'm all about the prac exams.
Yeah, smart.
I'll get on board with prac exams and I'm going to tap out.
Yeah, me too.
Conversation done, I guess.
Great. How good was that?
This is definitely more succinct, but sometimes I think too many of us tap out to give a resolution. It's kind of just like, all right, cool.
But yeah, it's hard because that's what a gavel does though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so was the resolution, Will, your idea sucks, we're doing practical exams? Is that what it was?
You didn't actually get a resolution. Yeah. Which left Will to kind of ultimately make the resolution on it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Will, I didn't hear Will knock. Maybe Will did, but
No.
Will, what's your resolution?
My resolution is we're getting rid of exams. And that's the end of it.
We knocked out too late.
I'm happy with my early knock.
I'm not. Damn it.
The joys of being the last one alive, you can just say whatever you like. And that's what the court has to accept.
Oh, man. I'm never tapping out again now.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Moving on.
We have another Joey. Well, a second time caller from one of our Joeys, actually.
nice.
So he has a little dilemma that he wants our help with. So I will play that.
We haven't had many second time callers. Does this Does this warrant a theme song?
Oh, it could.
It could.
I think.
You know what? I think it does. We don't have a theme song for our callers, do we?
I don't think we do.
So I think we should do a theme song for our callers.
I think we should. And something I prepared earlier.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go, Brad.
This is for a theme song for our callers. Oh, hang on.
Great. It's a great song because I think it's the exact opposite of what we want our callers to be doing.
Exactly.
We don't want them to be careless,
No.
and we want them to speak loudly so we can hear.
Yeah, that was also the thing from Baker Street, not Careless Whisper. So,
What's careless whisper?
Careless Whisper is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's Baker Street?
What?
What's Baker Street?
The one I just played.
Is it a song or is it? It's a thing. What? It's a TV show.
No, it's a song by Ricky Rafferty from the late 80s, I think.
Lame.
All right, here is our Joey.
Hey fellas, it's Lockie again. I'm just sitting in the car park. I just got my lunch from the food court. I'm on lunch break at the moment, and I went to put my cup in the cup holder. I've only got one cup holder. Who does that to a car? But I went to put my Macca's drink into a cup holder. But there was a bit of coffee left over from this morning in my coffee mug, in my coffee cup. And I just opened the door and just poured it out, and I felt a bit dirty. Like I've done it before. It's liquid. It'll go away. But I don't know. What do you reckon? Is that an okay thing to do? Just to pour a little bit of liquid onto the floor outside the car? I don't know. I think I just need you guys to clear my conscience a bit for me. But anyways, let me know.
Was he in the drive-through?
No, I reckon he was at a supermarket, like, at the food court.
Yeah.
He's picked something up.
So he's poured his coffee out in the supermarket.
No, he's in the car. It's just next to the car. It's just in the car park.
In the car park.
I mean, I've already got issues with this whole conversation. Why has he got a coffee in the first place? Is probably the first thing I would say. But secondly, I think it's wrong. Don't litter. Find a bin. Put it in the bin. Simple. I'm all about looking after the environment.
Coffee juice in a bin is also not a good thing. The poor guy has to empty that out.
Yeah, but it's in a bin bag. He just takes it out and pours it in another bin. That then goes
but
to
it builds
a bigger
like
bin. That then goes to another bin.
It leaks out of the bag. I think pour it in a garden. Find a garden.
That's it. Because the mess on the concrete or the bitumen is going to be a mess for someone else to either stand in or run over or whatever else. I'm not okay with that. So, Lockie, get your skates into gear. I don't know.
Get your gates into skier and
yeah, it's been a long day.
Do skates have gears?
Snakes do. Snakes have gears. Sorry, quality content. Pascal Tomlin. Yeah, it's got to be a garden or bust. Because the bin, as someone who's emptied bins full of liquid, when I worked at Big Dad's Pies, it is the worst when it gets all over you and the floor. So garden all the way.
I reckon there's a simpler solution, and that is finish your drink.
Oh, okay, Will. Okay.
And rather than tipping it in the garden or, tipping it on the road, if you haven't finished it and you need to clear that space, you've still got to down that mouthful of cold coffee. That's your punishment
are you
for
a
not
tea
finishing the
drinker?
drink. Yes,
Are
I
you
am
a
a
tea
tea
drinker,
drinker.
Will?
Yes.
Do you drink like the dregs of the tea leaves at the bottom?
I don't have
Or
tea
do you
leaves.
leave that there?
Like it's a tea bag, so I pull the tea bag out and then.
Yeah, but there's still always like little bits in the end. So you'll finish a whole cup of tea.
What tea are you drinking?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Mate,
Are you
great
drinking?
tea.
I have
Is it
English breakfast tea.
okay?
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, but so you don't have. There's never ever any dregs at the bottom of your tea.
No. People need to
Maybe
learn
we
how to
have
make a
loose-
good cup of tea then if they've got dregs in it.
You're an animal.
Will's
You go to a
spicy today.
cafe and there's dregs at the bottom of your cup of tea every
Oh,
time.
those ones. Yeah, if they got like the loose leaf stuff, there's
Yeah,
crap
man, I
at the
think maybe
bottom.
that's what we must use those then.
Yeah, no.
I got in trouble yesterday because I don't make enough teas for us. So don't ask me how to make tea.
Just get the bags. We'll be happy.
Bags for life.
Yeah, the bags are the best.
Well, if there's because with coffee, there's also often little bits at the end, and you just don't want to be drinking that. So I understand that you leave in a little bit of coffee at the end.
But you just throw it in the bin.
No.
If you just got the little bits at the end, who cares? If you got like a third of a cup, then yeah, maybe like find a little thing to pour it out. But if you just got like the little dregs at the bottom, put it in the bin. Who cares?
Yeah, maybe that's right.
Yeah, if it's just the dregs, that's fine, totally. But if you're chucking away like more than a quarter.
Yeah. But, well, not even more than a quarter. He's pouring it out. If it's enough to pour out, that doesn't go in the bin. Because you're not pouring out a dreg.
Oh. Maybe you are.
Are you?
I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but it looks like we're going to define what a dreg is. So,
Someone ask Google.
See that?
yeah.
Lucky
the
this
dregs.
isn't an exam from the archaic way of doing
Oh,
things. You
all
have
right,
an
well.
opportunity
Will,
to
you
Google
tapped
it.
out, Will. You tapped out, Will.
I
Get out.
didn't tap out. I just
See, that's
sat
the
here.
dregs.
Greg.
That's the dregs.
Yeah.
Yeah, drink it.
That's got dregs in it.
Yeah, you can throw that out.
Yeah, totally. That's fine.
I probably, with Will, I wouldn't leave stuff in the bottom. I almost like 99% of the time would finish all of my drink all the time.
Okay, look at you
Well done,
guys.
Brad.
Yeah,
Why would you ever leave drinking?
I finish what I start.
You know why, Brad? Because I have self-discipline. And if I don't need the last little bit, I'm not going to drink it just because it's there.
To be fair, I have no self-discipline. I will drink it till I'll go get another one. Yep. I'm also going to tap.
So, Will, what's the decision?
I tapped.
Ah,
Oh, so Brad, you got to make the decision. You were last.
well, not bitumen, no go. Find either a bin or a garden. I think that's the consensus. That's the ruling.
There you go, Lockie. You're an animal. Get your act together.
But you're still our Joey, and we love you. So, thank you for listening.
yeah. Please keep sending in stuff so we can play the sweet scene theme song again.
Yeah, that's
We'll
right.
play Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
Careless Baker Street.
Baker's Whisper.
Yeah, I like Baker's Whisper. That's my favorite.
Well, I've got a bit of a problem at the moment myself. It's a little bit different than Lockie's. I've been finding that I'm kind of, in this kind of isolation season, I've read books, I played video games, I've kind of done some stuff. I just need a new hobby. I haven't had a new hobby in a really long time. And I wanted to put it to you guys because I think you guys know me pretty well. Even our listeners too, they can tune in as well, all our Joeys. But I want you here, boys, on the spot this afternoon, from what you know of me, to come up with a new hobby, and I will attempt to try that new hobby in the next week or two.
Knitting.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
I was going to say rowing.
If only I had a rowing machine that I could warm up on.
No,
So-
I think knitting's a good one, but my mind instantly went to like smoking meat. I think you should become a meat smoker
Oh.
so I can come around and eat it.
Yeah, that's. I like the self-centered nature of that. That we'll get to benefit from him being like, boys, you need to come over. I've smoked some meat.
Well, so we just ordered a whole big box of meat from our local butcher. Like they come and deliver it to your door, and we got this home pack that's got like a full roast chicken, roast beef, roast pork, all ready to cook up. It's got some chicken Kievs, chicken skewers, sausages, burger patties. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff. And then some steaks in it, like proper steaks, and some chicken thighs in it. So it's like a really mixed bag of meats. And I got it and I was like, well, Merce ordered it, but I was like, I really want to try out becoming like a meat expert. I was kind of already in the back of my mind. So I just need to get a smoker.
Go to Bunnings.
How much?
But also, that's the super fancy butcher, man. Like
It's
that.
really good. It's way better than going just to your local Coles or Woolies, not sponsored, sorry guys, around
Aldi.
and like getting their cheap, nasty cuts. They're
Yeah.
in the bulk pack we got. It's going to save us a bunch of money and it's better quality meat.
Fair
That's
enough.
pretty good.
Mm.
Nice.
But I assume you're freezing some of it, hey?
Yeah, we had to completely empty our freezer basically to chuck it in the freezer.
Yeah.
So we basically had a little small box of ice blocks in there, and that was all we had in our freezer before we filled it full of meat.
Yeah, fair.
I like that idea. A meat smoker. We could even smoke some meat for our barbecue off, our steak off.
Yes, the steak off. I'm keen for that. Have you got a kilogram of steak there?
We probably would have close to it, actually.
Nice. I'm keen. I do like the meat smoking thing, but I do also like the idea of knitting.
Hasn't Rach taken up knitting recently?
Nah, she's taking up crocheting. It's different.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
From my perspective, the number of stick things, whatever they're called.
How many stick things does she have?
One. A crochet is just one. It's like got a hook on the end, and it's like they're like, but then knitting's all like two hooks. So knitting would be funner to watch you do.
Okay.
I don't mind the smoked meat thing, but I think knitting could.
Maybe you could create a cover for your smoker. You could make a cover out of non-flammable cotton.
Why don't you make an Etsy account with all of your knitting work on it, and then you can monetize it as well, and people can buy Brad's knits.
Oh, gross.
I like it.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to call it Brad's Knits.
Yeah, it'd be the best. People be like, "Oh man, I just bought some more of Brad's knits."
I'll just do exclusively beanies. They got to wear Brad's knits. I don't mind that idea.
Maybe you could take up saxophone playing as a hobby, Brad.
I should actually play. I honestly haven't played it for like 12 months, so it's in pretty poor nick. So maybe I should actually just take up the thing that I'm already.
What's poor Nick about it?
What?
What's poor Nick about it?
I have split my cork. I pulled it out today, and the whole cork, I can show you actually, is split along the top.
You don't need to show us. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Fine. I'll put it away.
Why don't you
because you know why it's split? It's because I haven't greased my cork in a while.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Technical term for it.
Yeah. It makes sense. You got to grease the cork from time to time.
Yeah.
Is the saxophone one of the instruments that you have all the gross, like you have a spit valve?
I do not have a spit valve, but if you do turn it upside down, it will run out the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly if you've greased the cork.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Have you thought about doing I was thinking, could you do it
What's Will looking up right now?
blog?
Yeah, you can see Will's busy.
What's Will looking up?
Strange hobbies in Google.
Yeah.
I would never do that, Brad.
Yeah, get ready. He's about to say something real weird. I'd never do that, but I did just think of a great hobby.
Spearfishing, Brad. You could take that up.
Yeah, Brad really looks like a spear fisherman.
He does.
Well, I reckon I could be a spear fisherman. I just have to get into that latex wetsuit. But I've been following a YouTube channel called Sailing Le Vagabond because of your recommend, Jimmy. Those guys have been living at the sea for on the sea. I can't talk today. Living at sea for 5 years, sailing around the world.
Wow, that's cool.
And they catch all their food from the ocean and a bit from shops they kind of pop into in ports and stuff. But super cool. I would love to go spearfishing and become spearfishing pro.
I would happily take up that hobby with you.
All right.
Great idea.
Thanks, Google.
Thanks, Google.
Oh, I just activated Google.
Damn it.
Mine's buzzing too, actually.
Or actually, you could, to go with your smoking meat, you could become a beer brewer, Brad. Do your homebrew beers.
I'm not a beer drinker, mate. I don't
Too
know.
mainstream as well.
Yeah, too many people are doing it.
Yeah.
You could make
Mind
your
you, a lot
own
of
beard
people are
wax.
smoking meat.
Could make beard wax.
Yeah, just to learn how to make your own beard wax or like beard oils or whatever.
Is that how that works? Just pick it out of your ears and...
Another hobby that Joey recommended to me recently was beekeeping.
Oh, yeah.
I do like honey.
That could be cool. You'd probably need to find a place where you can actually go and store some bees. But
You do it at your back.
Probably can't do it in the townhouse complex here.
Yeah, you
Nah. I mean, you could see how long you can get away with it for. That could be your hobby.
A beekeeper is called an apiarist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Apiist. It's got good benefits being a beekeeper.
Honey?
Yeah.
Any other benefits?
Oh, well, bees are pretty good for the environment.
Yeah.
It's not all about your personal benefit, Brad. It's about your impact in the world.
And that's what a good hobby should be.
Yeah.
You should smoke meat.
Yeah. So we got smoked meat. What was it? Spearfishing?
Knitting.
Knitting. What we might do is I'll take those suggestions and we'll create like maybe a poll on Facebook, and people can add their own suggestions. And next week we'll announce which hobby I'm going to take up.
I think a video of us all going spearfishing would be hilarious.
I agree.
I've only fired a gun a couple of times, so I think it would be very dangerous. But I'm down for it.
Will get stung by jellyfish for sure.
No, you mean sea lice?
Oh, sorry, Brad's nits.
Cool. Well, we'll
Perfect.
chuck it up on the Facebook page, and we'll let you know next week what hobby I'm going to do for the rest of ISO.
Sounds good.
Recommends. Smashing out. Actually, let's review. How are people finding the gaveling thing going thus far?
I like it. I need the clarity of I guess the resolution of the conversation. So we just sometimes I think we all let's finish the conversation. But yeah, we need to resolve it. Sometimes it's just floating. But otherwise, beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. Is the solution to that the person who brings the topic up gets the final say on it, and we've got to trust them to say what to sum up what we've discussed?
Yeah, I think what Brad just did then was great.
Yeah, agreed.
Well done, Brad.
Nailed it.
Crushed it.
Let's go to the recommends.
Recommends. Let's do it.
I'm going to go first, actually, this week. I've been thinking about what it means to be a podcaster, and I have a recommend for all podcasters out there.
Nice.
And my recommend for podcasters is to get a microphone. Boys, what do you think about that recommend?
Oh yeah, get yourself a sick mic.
Yeah, great.
Yep. Such a good idea. What about you, Will?
Mine's just too heavy to lift off the table at the moment, so I can't reveal it to you guys. I'm so sorry.
But what do you think about my recommend?
Yeah, I like it.
I think if you're making money out of your podcast, it's a great recommend.
I think we would be making money out of this podcast if we all had quality mics.
I agree.
Yeah. It's a hobby thing, I think, right? And you got to invest in a hobby. Brad's going to have to invest in a smoker or a knitting stick, needles.
100% right there. You do need to invest in your hobby.
It's an investment.
You do indeed. Good recommend, James. I appreciate it.
It was a good.
I'm sure, along with all other podcasters, they really appreciate your recommend.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, I love it. Hey, my recommend's a bit different this week. Have you guys been finding that you're eating more or less in isolation?
More.
I've been finding that if I'm just sitting at work, kind of working away doing stuff, I look up and suddenly it's well past lunchtime and I forget to have lunch a lot. So I'm actually eating way less than I normally would, which is weird because there's no snacks at work and things like that I can just pick up on. But one thing that I found that makes me looking forward to lunch every single day at the moment are those sandwich thins you can get. So it's not actual like whole loaf of bread. It's like I'll get one. 2 seconds.
I have no idea what he's trying to describe.
Sandwich thins.
Sandwich thins.
Ah.
And so you pull them out. They're all like pre-made little bits of bread.
Oh, the actual bread.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
And then they kind of all cut. Well, that's got a bit of mold on it, actually. I probably haven't eaten that in a few days. Maybe it's not a good recommend.
It does have mold on it.
It does.
It's like blue cheese. It's good.
Yeah, great. Get fresh ones, and they're actually super good because they're not as thick as sandwiches. So you don't feel like if you eat sandwiches, you get a bit bloated sometimes. They're nice thin. You can have 2 or 3 of them. It's a really good sandwich. I highly recommend them. Fresh ones, not moldy ones.
I don't know. Is it better than bread?
It's not better than bread. It's just different than bread. So you're not having just a sandwich every day. It's a different kind of sandwich. I like a bit of variety. Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
The spice.
I don't think there's enough variety in just sandwiches.
Oh,
You got to eat other foods.
I could have a sandwich for lunch every day of my life.
Really? That sounds a lot not like you, Brad.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but you can do different things with sandwiches. Like,
I could have pizza every day of my life, but
Yeah.
not sandwiches.
would you eat the same flavor pizza though?
No, because there's varieties again.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like the construct of pizza more than it. Maybe I'll have an open sandwich.
I couldn't eat the same sandwich every day. It would have to be a different type of sandwich. But a sandwich,
Fair enough.
easy.
Fair enough. Good recommend.
What about you, Will?
My recommend is going to be that you should drink way more water than what you normally would do during a day. And in particular for people who are exercising, you should be looking to drink 1 liter of water per 25 kilos of body mass. So for someone like me, I should be looking to get at least 4 liters of water in a day. And that is going to be my recommend, is to aim to get 1 liter of water per 25 kilos of body mass. And you will feel amazing because water has so many more health benefits than drinking any other potential drink that you might have.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a pretty serious number. I
4
like it.
liters.
Yeah,
It's a lot of water.
That's
It
a lot
is.
of. Yeah, that's a lot of.
it's a lot of body mass as well, but it's got to fuel. Yeah, I'm at, last time I jumped on the scales, I was 101 kilos. So it's 4 liters of water.
Wow. Thank you for your vulnerability as well.
Yeah.
It's all right. I have
You don't
little,
look it.
little shame in, that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked that.
No.
No,
There you go.
Hold your weight well.
Thanks.
you do.
You take your
walk out of
keys out of
here
your front
feeling-
pockets and put it in your back. You'll wear it even better.
Can recommend that.
So yeah, that's my recommend.
It's
Nice.
good. It's good. My recommend is get an app called Goodreads and then catalog all of your freaking books. I've been doing that. I moved this weekend, and so all of my books are in boxes, and now I'm taking them all out and putting them in our bookshelves. And so I'm scanning all of them. You can scan them by barcode or by cover, and I'm putting them all into categories of all the ones that I've read, all the ones that I want to read, and then I've got a third category for all of my wish list books. And then I'm going to have like a category that I'm going to move them into if I borrow a book, so that way, or I lend someone a book, so I can make sure my books all come back to me. But it's a really satisfying experience having it fully cataloged. Here are all of the books that I've ever read. Here are all of the books that I've currently got on my bookcase that I still need to read. Here are my wish list ones that I want to buy, and here are the ones that I've lent out. But Goodreads does all of that.
Are you going to do that for your TV shows and movies as well?
Nah, because you
Batman.
can't flex on that. So,
You could just categorize them like the bookshelf behind me in all colors. It's beautiful.
But it even says A to Z.
yeah, I know that
It's
is
not alphabetic.
that is contradictory. But yeah, so that's been super helpful. And you can be friends with people on Goodreads, do like book reading challenges and see what other people are reading. So then you can go, oh, that looks like it would be an interesting book. And I might just read that. The key there is to try and be friends with really smart people. So then you can see the smart people books to buy.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but that's it. I've been enjoying that. So catalog your books on Goodreads. Oh, and if you've got a Kindle, it syncs with your Kindle reading progress because it's owned by Amazon.
Ooh.
So you
Now
can,
we're
it'll
intrigued.
update it automatically. If you read a few pages on your Kindle, it'll update your progress on your currently reading on your Goodreads.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's fun. But yeah, that's my recommend.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Well done.
Good episode.
Another great episode.
Yeah.
Woo! Quality content, passable time length. Come on.
Yes.
Crushed it. So, court adjourned.